Shut up and sit down.
What's the story, Internet?
Shut up and sit down.
What's the story, Internet? Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Hope you're all ready for some European action. So, we've got some Champions League matches. I believe that I mistakenly went over some of them last week, not realising that they were happening 2 weeks apart rather than happening on the same day. So, but before we jump into that and the Europa League as well, we have a Premier League match going on tomorrow, Tuesday, and that is Leeds United versus Southampton. So both sides will be looking to get the 3 points because both of them are getting closer and closer to the bottom of the table, at least compared to where they were previously. So Leeds had a disappointing loss to Wolves on Friday, so they'll want to rectify that. And only 2 points behind them are Southampton. This is both of their team's game in hand. So if Leeds wins, they would leapfrog Arsenal and go into 10th. They'd be 1 point behind Tottenham. If Southampton wins, they would leapfrog Leeds, go level on points with Wolves, and depending on the goal difference, either be level with them or overtake them. So, yeah, I think this should be an interesting match. Both teams have been playing some very interesting football when I've seen them play against other teams. I mean, 6-2 for Leeds against Manchester United and 9-0 for Southampton against Manchester United, but still. But no, they've been playing some very free-flowing football, and I can see this being a very entertaining match. The likes of Rodrigo and Danny Ings going up against each other, Ward-Prowse and Calvin Phillips. I think it should be quite an interesting match. So, there's no other midweek matches in the other leagues, at least none of major consequence. There might be one or two, but nothing of huge consequence besides Barcelona versus Elche, but I don't think that's going to be groundbreaking. So let's move on to the important stuff, which is the Champions League. So Atletico Madrid versus Chelsea. Both sides coming off disappointing results over the weekend, so they'll want to rectify that. I think it'll be interesting to see how Thomas Tuchel approaches his first European match, because this will be one of the reasons he was brought in was for his European prowess. Dortmund and PSG gives him a lot of European experience. Not always positive. For example, the embarrassing loss at the Parc des Princes against Manchester United, and then not making it, not winning it last year against Bayern Munich. But still, a lot of experience from the German manager. And Atletico Madrid is just such a hard team to break down. Diego Simeone has set up his side to be so gritty and just grind out results. The likes of Jan Oblak, Luis Suarez, João Felix, got a lot of powerhouses in there. So I'm going to say that it's going to be a 1-1 draw. I think Chelsea are going to try and get that important away goal and then take it to Stamford Bridge and beat them there. And then because of Atletico Madrid's tendency to just grind out results, I think it's going to be the draw. So, but then again, look at what they did to Liverpool last season. So you never know. Lazio versus Bayern should be a very interesting game, but I think Bayern are going to be able to brush them aside just because of what Dortmund did to Lazio in the group stages. I know they didn't win both games, but the one that they did win was quite convincing. And Bayern are just Bayern. And speaking of bad results, they had an awful result over the weekend against Frankfurt, so they'll want to bounce back from that, and what better way than to prove themselves in Europe. So, and they just have so many great players to keep an eye out for. Next one, Atalanta versus Real Madrid. So this one is a very interesting one because you would expect Real Madrid to be the favourites. However, Atalanta have been performing very well, and they beat Napoli 4-2 over the weekend. I believe that was the final score. Let's just double check. Yep. So they beat Napoli 4-2 over the weekend, which is a very important result for them, and sets them up nicely in place for this Real Madrid game. Now, obviously, they are missing Alejandro Gomez since he moved to Sevilla, but the other players have been stepping up, the likes of Zapata and Ilicic and players like that. So it'll be very interesting to see, especially because Real Madrid have been performing better, but they're nowhere near their powerhouse self that they usually are. So I think it's going to be a very attacking match, maybe even finish like a 4-3 or a 3-3 or something like that. Watch, I'm going to be proved wrong and it's a 0-0 board draw. But and then the next match, Mönchengladbach versus Manchester City. Now, Manchester City will heavily be favourites, especially after Mönchengladbach lost to Mainz over the weekend. But that's the beauty of the Champions League, is you never know how the playstyles of two teams are going to cancel each other out. So it'll be interesting to see if Mönchengladbach are able to cancel City out. I personally think that City are going to be too strong, and I think they'll brush them aside. Maybe not in this match, might be like a 1-1 or a 1-0 to City or something like that. But once they get them back to the Etihad, I think they'll finish them off there. So that's the Champions League. Moving on to the Europa League. So let's go through some teams that need to make up some ground. So Napoli desperately need to come back against Granada after losing 2-0. They need to make advantage of the home field advantage and get rid of those away goals. Arsenal need to come back against Benfica after drawing 1-1. AC Milan need to exercise the evils from the Milan derby and figure this out against the team that I can't pronounce. And then Leverkusen need to overcome Young Boys to advance in their round. The other match, Manchester United versus Real Sociedad, it is 4-0 on aggregate. Manchester United with 4 away goals. Not going to say they're just going to walk it, because you never know, anything can happen. PSG versus Barcelona, Manchester United versus PSG, you just never know what's going to happen. But they're in a very good position, because this means that Real Sociedad need at least 4 goals to take it to extra time and penalties, or a 5th goal to win it outright. So yeah, we'll have to see come Thursday. And just a reminder that all of these matches, the Champions League and Europa League, are on CBS. And then let's have a look for you and see what channel the Leeds versus Southampton match is. That is NBCSN. So yeah, that is my preview for the week's matches. I'll be back with you on Thursday for the review of the week's matches, and then Friday for the European matches. For a preview of the weekend's matches, sorry. It's because I saw the word Europe and it completely threw me off. But yeah, until then, I hope you're all staying safe, keeping out of trouble. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And until next time, ta-ra for now.